In this video, we're going to show you exactly how to find houses with tax liens. Listen, by mastering this overlooked avenue in tax liens and tax deeds, you're missing a big opportunity to make money. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you find the diamond in the rough. There are properties out there in plain sight, but if you don't know how to find them, you're not going to find them. This is going to make you and your family a ton of money. In this video, by the time we get to the end, you'll know exactly where to look, how to look, and when to look to find the deals that can help you and your family to financial freedom. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this. How to find a property with a tax lien certificate on it. Believe it or not, that's going to be your easiest part. It's finding the right property with the right lien on it is where you're going to make the money. Here's what you're not going to have to do. So let's just get this out of the way. You're not going to drive around and go, that property looks like it doesn't have paying its taxes, like some of these things where they say, go out and find the shittiest property in the neighborhood and start making offers. Really? Seriously? You're hoping this person's going to want to sell this property? No. Okay, with this is what you're going to do is this. You're going to find the areas you want to go. Now, if I want to buy a property and I want to own the property, there's about 22 states out there, states that offer immediate ownership of the property. This is getting the property free and clear every single time. This is how this strategy works. So what you're going to do is you're going to find those states. You're going to pick 6 of them. I don't care if you take a dart and throw it at the wall. Pick 6 of them, and you guessed it, if you've watched my other videos, and pick 3 counties per. Now you've got 18 counties. What you're going to want to do is find out from those counties is when exactly is their sale. Number 1, what time of the year is it? When exactly is it in that particular month? Then backtrack 30 days. 30 days prior to that sale, by law, they're going to post a list of every property that's going to be selling. Now here's the great part about this. Because the property is being sold, not a lien, but being sold for the back taxes, well, you will own it free and clear, there will be less properties on this list. So you're not going to have thousands of properties. You may have a few hundred. And what's going to happen from that point, you start picking your calendar out and go, okay, here's where all the sales are. I got a sale in February, April, June, whatever that case is. So here's my counties. I'm going to start doing the research, okay? Before the list comes out, I need to start figuring out how that particular county conducts its sale. Is it live? Is it online? Do I need cash? Can I use a cashier's check? Can I wire the money in? That's very important. How is this sale conducted? If it's online, here's a little tidbit, okay? Who is doing the online sale? It ain't going to be the county. It's going to be a third uninterested party that's conducting it. It's going to be a private company that's holding that online sale. The county's not in the online business, so they'll hire a contractor to bring that property, like Bids for Assets or SRI websites. I can't think of some off the top of my head, but you'll see them out. It doesn't matter until you get to the county. But you might have to register at that particular location also. I've made this mistake. I was all ready for a sale. I'd registered the county. I'd done sales there before. Oh, we'll just go online. I go online. They're like, where's your registration? I'm like, it's over here. That's not the same one. Oh, so I had to really quickly register for the online sale. Just a little side note to make sure you're covered on that. I also need to know who needs to get registered. Well, you do. Really? You do. Okay, so you're going to hold this property in your private name, your personal name? So if somebody wants to sue you, they're going to sue you and your family and everybody else? I don't think so. Okay, I want to do an LLC. Remember we talked about that in some of the other videos? If you haven't seen that video, then the only way you can see those double secret videos is hit the like button. Hit the like button, make a comment. Sean, where are those other videos? I'll find the link and send them over to you. Or just go through my whole library and hit subscribe and you'll have access to all that. But anyways, so you're looking at this, these lists, you're finding out who needs to be registered. And I say, okay, I want my LLC to be registered, so here's my LLC. Then they say, yeah, but are you authorized to bid for that LLC? What's my LLC? Prove it. So you might, not always, but you might have to get what they call a proxy bidder. So that means that I may need to fill out a form that says I'm allowed to bid for this LLC, or I need a POA, power of attorney, or something to that effect. Okay, now I get the list. Now I start doing my research. I make sure that the property that they say is going for sale is also the address is matching the same, because all I care about is a parcel number, folio number, whatever they use in that particular state. I will find the property that way, and then I will match the address to that. I do not care what address they send me. Okay, that could be the address of the dude that lives somewhere else. It doesn't matter. I want to make sure that that property I'm buying matches that parcel ID number, because parcel ID numbers do not move around. Okay, I could subdivide a property and the address could be this house, but they're selling the lot next door to it. Cuidado, be very careful in that area. So I'm matching those out. Now I'm going online, I'm looking, okay, where's the house? What's the picture? I'm looking at some of the latest photos that Google has sent and stuff. Let's say I've narrowed 14 down to 3 properties. I definitely want to look at the properties. I don't necessarily have to hop on a plane and go look at them. I could call a real estate agent and say, hey, I got 3 properties in your area. I want you to take a drive by and just tell me what you think. Is there somebody in the property? Is it occupied? What condition is in the property? 1 to 10, 10 being best. I want you to take some pictures of the property and take some pictures of the area. I can already start doing my own comparable sales. So what I do is I go on to Zillow and I look for properties in that neighborhood, similar number of rooms, similar number of bathrooms, similar square feet, and how much they've been selling for in the last 60 days. That's going to establish my baseline. Now remember, I'm not buying the property for 80% of value. All I want to make sure is, yeah, these properties in that neighborhood are $300,000 or whatever it is. It could be 280, it could be 320. I can be okay. I don't need to be exact. I just need to get this target like this, not like that. So now that I know that that neighborhood is selling for $30,000 or $300,000, now that I know that the real estate agent has gone by there and said, yeah, it's a nice area, looks like it's rental, it's got some garbage out front, but a little lipstick and some makeup, it's gonna be fine. Okay, I'm good to go on that. So now I can start to establish my purchase price on that property. Okay, you see how this process goes step by step through the whole deal. So I'm sitting there going, okay, back taxes on this property. Now remember, if I'm buying the property, and it's been 4-year delinquents on property taxes, your starting bid's gonna be higher because they're losing the property, okay? So I wanna make sure that this is the property that I want, because I'll own it free and clear every single time. At that point, I'm gonna establish my purchase price. So I've gotta look at it and think, every property I buy, I assume is gonna need repair. So I always wanna know, what's my after repair, after rehab value? Okay, I don't care if they say, oh my gosh, this thing is pristine and, you know, Mrs. Cleaver lives there. It doesn't really matter. I always assume it's going to need some value. Sean, how much? I don't know. They could be tore up inside. Yeah, they could be, but you're not going to be able to look on the inside. That's the one drawback of this, but you know what? You're just going to have to go with it. So if the opening bid on this property is $20,000, I could say, you know what? My max bid in this particular neighborhood, I'll just arbitrarily say it's $80,000. Please do not put in the comments, I want the formula. There is no formula. Think about this. If I find a property that's worth $150,000, would my formula to be pay half of the value? Why? Okay, if I pay half the value, $75,000, and it needs $40,000 of retail, I might as well gone out and buy a wholesale property. That doesn't make any sense. Whereas, if it's a $400,000 property, I might be willing to pay 50% of value. That formula, I hate these formulas online. They don't work for this, okay? That's just, what I love about real estate is every deal is unique. Look at the value of what you've got. Look at guesstimated rehabs on that. You'll start getting better at this as it goes forward. Now I've established my purchase price on that, okay? So here's the deal. Here's the property. Here's what it's gonna look like when it's done. This is what it's gonna cost me. Here's all the values of the neighborhood. This is how I'm coming up with this. Because Sean, I don't have $70,000. Okay, then go find it. If your friends don't have $70,000 for a $230,000 property, get new friends. I'm being very serious, okay? In other words, start hanging around people that can do this. And I'm telling you, an easy way, if I've got my portfolio on this particular deal in my hand, and I'm sitting down and I know that I know somebody with some money, this is exactly what I would do. I would call them up and say, hey, Joe, we'll call him Joe. Joe, I respect all your success. I've got a deal I'm presenting to somebody else. I want you to look at it and poke holes in it and see where I've made any mistakes and tell me what I could do different. Let's go have a cup of coffee, my treat. I'm not calling him up going, I've got a great deal for you. No, I sit down with him. I say, here's the deal. It's $230,000 property. I think we can pick it up for $70,000. Here's where the sale is coming up. This is where I got my values. This is where I got my rehabs. What holes are you putting in? He said, well, who's this other guy? Oh, it's some guy, Joe. Well, I want to do this deal. Oh, really? You would like to do this deal? Yeah. And if they don't say that they'd like to do the deal, say, hey, who do you know that would like to do this deal if my guy doesn't go after this deal? That's how it works. There are a lot of gaps in here. I just don't have time to go through everything, but I'm going to tell you the most important thing. This is the way you and your family catapult this strategy to the stratosphere. This is how you hit 6 figures in 2024. Real simple. Okay, I've got a free course for you right now that I just put together. All you have to do is click the link down below or go to higginsmethod.com. Fill out the registration form. One of my guys will talk to you. They'll give you all the videos and you're good to go. God bless and good luck. We'll see you on the other side.